Their first and main one, open 24 hours, is 815 Jefferson Street. And their other one, in Joliet, is 1317 East Washington Street in Joliet. Thank you so much for being our sponsors this month. Their donuts are delicious and affordable, and you can literally get them at 8 in the morning or 3 in the morning. So that's awesome about that place too.
That was the best part about it, especially,
Yeah, right.
late night munchies. We also wanted to give another shout out to another sponsor of the month, which is Los Burritos Mexicanos, or Los Burritos Mexicanos, as Americans would say. You could actually find them at 118 North Avenue in Villa Park. If you guys are ever in the need for, once again, a late night snack, they're open pretty late, as well as if you guys are ever in
just in the mood for some good food.
Some good food, some good tacos. Make sure you find them again. Again, they are at 118 North Avenue in Villa Park.
118 North Avenue in Villa Park.
Yeah. It looks like they're open till midnight tonight, so make sure you guys go there if you guys are in the mood for some tacos. How's that?
Okay.
All right. Well, you wanted to show everybody a little bit of the video, right? We wanted to give you guys a little bit more of, I guess, of a more of a solid kind of format that we hadn't done before. So today we're going to try to experiment with another. I mean, we've already been doing this, right? Where we basically show you guys, a few videos from the internet or clips that we find, and we have a little laugh, little giggle. We may laugh, we may cry. You never know. But we decided to give it an actual name to this actual segment, right?
Yes.
So the segment is actually going to be called Open Tabs.
Open Tabs.
All right, guys. So one of the first things we wanted to show you for today's segment on Open Tabs was going to be, let me get it up here. It's of a guy who's basically working at a Metro PCS. Now, I swear, I've been on YouTube and online so much, and it's always a Boost Mobile store or it's always a Metro PCS store that is getting robbed. Like, why are they going after these poor people, right?
I don't even know. Like, they wouldn't even have as much money as, like, Sprint or somewhere.
Yeah, I don't know. But apparently they're the easy targets, right? Well, this guy decided to prove to everybody, like, hey, you know what? We are not easy targets. And he decided to use his open carry, to defend himself. Let us show you a little bit on that. There we go.
Oh my gosh. You're going to have to widescreen it. Okay, good.
Look at that. That quick.
Wait, do it again, because I missed it.
Right.
That's fucking...
Alright, so it looks like this guy right now is just basically, chilling. Some guy comes in with a bandana and boom. Look, immediately he changes his tone. He's like, hey, man, I don't want no problems, man. Come on, man.
Look at a little baby for someone who's about to rob a store.
He's probably about 17 years old. Look at that. There's no way his parents would have ever thought that he was going to be out doing this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That's the worst part about it.
Look.
He chose the wrong store.
Yeah. And what's the crazy part is the worker was completely off guard. He was on his phone. Like, it's not like he was standing waiting.
Yeah, let me show it again. Look at that. He's just on his phone. He's minding his phone. Oh, there we go. So.
It was like a split second. Inform. Like, I don't even know what's going on with our video right now. Oh, apparently it's a machete in a pillowcase.
He tried putting a machete into a pillowcase. What is it with... And this is in Florida, by the way, if you guys were wondering. This was in Florida. I'm not even joking about it. All this kind of crazy shit always ends up happening in Florida. But this particular situation was in Florida. And they're always trying to do something with machetes. What is with Florida people and machetes? Eventually the cops come in and arrest him.
Yeah, they took off the kid's bandana or whatever. Like, he doesn't even get up, try to run. Like, that kid knows he's done.
One of the main things that I'm actually noticing about today's live stream is the fact that it looks like we're using a lot of CPU on this specific program. All right, so we actually switched software from regular OBS to this one company called Streamlabs OBS, and it's basically the same thing, and it just basically ends up having a few other little things that would end up helping it out. And we're doing a multi PC thing, but we've been having issues with our Mac. Go figure, right, Mac?
Yeah.
But it looks like this software actually uses a lot more CPU, and I really wanted to try out this software, and I really wanted it to work, but I don't think it's going to be able to work unless we either get a better CPU or we just start splitting up, payloads between computers. But that's a lot of CPU to be using.
Oh, it went down a little bit right now.
Yeah, but we normally
it
never
went
go
back
up
up.
this high. That's probably why our videos are actually
lagging pretty hard. We
Yeah.
tried a new program.
Yeah, but there's another open tabs Leslie has, and it just so happens to be on the Kardashians. Let us know a little bit more about these open tabs we got going on.
All right. So, I look at the news every day, and somehow the Kardashians are always in the news. Somehow. I don't know why. This one is about, I don't know if everyone knows this because I just found this out today, that Kim Kardashian's having another baby, and it's a boy, and like everyone knows, but I had no idea, considering how much they're on news all the time. And Kim had a CBD and meditation baby shower, which I think is a little bit strange because baby showers are like to celebrate the baby.
Yeah, where does the CBD come into play? I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm a new
Yeah,
guy for CBD, especially because it's been helping my back out a lot.
yeah, like we've talked about how we discovered that it actually does work, but it's
Right.
like, come on guys, let's have a tramadol and meditation baby shower over here. And because she even said, I'm freaking out, the baby's coming in like 2 weeks apparently. I had no idea. What a better way to celebrate than have a little CBD, because she's freaking out, right?
And so it basically deals with anxiety.
Yeah, but like, and then everyone was trying to say that it was sponsored, so it wasn't really even her idea. So I mean, that kind of sucks being famous, that you can't even have like your own, like, baby shower.
Yeah, and everybody's wants to dip their fingers into like the advertisement and being a part of the cloud basically.
And another thing that she even mentioned, well, she even says like, so everyone have a puff and put on some oil. Oh, that's a fun baby shower. And it said, I thought it was kind of ridiculous to have a fourth baby shower. And I hate when people say that.
Why?
Like, because, when people have kids, they're like, another baby shower. Like, if you have two, like, you don't need another baby shower. And I find that really annoying because people, you celebrate a baby's birthday every year, or a kid's birthday, your birthday, whatever it is. So you could celebrate the same kid who's been, living the past 8 years' birthday every year. But the second a new baby comes around, you can't celebrate a new baby twice, another new baby.
I mean, I guess you're right, especially when there's people out there who are, I guess, a little bit underprivileged when it comes down to being able to, afford stuff with another baby. We've only had one, personally.
Oh, baby shower.
Yeah.
Yeah, we only had one. I mean, I was way too busy to have a second one, but it would have been nice to have a second one. I mean, celebrating a new baby, that's kind of the whole point.
I agree with that. I think it's more about getting together with people, and it's like if you want to bring something, bring something. But other than that, it's to celebrate,
The new baby.
the new baby, the excitement. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I don't understand why people think that you can have more than one, but you could have like a birthday for the same child over
Right.
and over every year. I just never understood that logic.
So let me show you. Got a few photos here, right?
I only got one because a lot of them of her booty, and it's like, what does that have to do with the topic?
And she just recently did a video where like they did her house, right? And they asked her, what's the one thing
that you wish people would know about you or something,
Yeah.
right?
What did she say?
And she said, I wish people would stop focusing on my butt. And like, that's all her baby shower pictures were, of her butt.
All right.
Alright, so there she is. That was her meditation.
He said, "There she is."
I'm sorry, I don't know. Like, that was a baby shower. I mean, I guess I get the idea of being relaxed because Kylie did like a a slumber party
Uh-huh.
baby shower, but like, I mean, it was still celebrating the baby. It was like all about the baby. But when I looked up pictures, there was no info about this baby, like anywhere.
Maybe they just want to keep things a little bit more private, a
Well,
little bit
then
more intimate, you know?
they should just say we had a party to relax before the baby.
We had a party to
Like, I don't know, not a baby shower, because she wanted to relax, and they call those baby moons.
Yeah, well, that's basically where you go out on a date, right?
You go on a vacation before the baby comes, because once a baby comes, you ain't going anywhere for like 2 years.
I wish we had taken a baby moon.
Me
That would
too.
have been marvelous.
That would have really eased the shock that was about to come into my life.
For real.
But yeah, I mean, I can get it, and this isn't, as bad. Oh,
Sorry, I moved into the wrong photo.
it isn't as, like, it is not crazy, but I found that a little bit silly that she just had a CBD party. Like I said, I'm gonna have a tramadol party.
A tramadol party. Everybody gets one tramadol.
Yeah, help it take off some pain, or I don't even know what. Stress.
I think it's an anti.
I don't even know.
I've looked it up because it's one of the medications that I have to take, and I use it for pain. But they apparently prescribe it as well for as an antidepressant.
Tramadol?
Tramadol, yeah. They from what I've read online, because before I take any medication, I always make sure I read about it. But apparently, it's either used for minor pain or
it says moderate to severe pain.
And moderate to severe pain, and then as well as depression as well, if I'm correct.
Yeah, it honestly doesn't say why.
Why it's for?
It's for.
Yeah. Oh no, it does. I've read it online.
Oh my gosh. I feel like it's gotten worse. Because, okay, whenever George goes to the hospital and they prescribe him something, I'm automatically looking up the medications, right? And tramadol, I was like, oh my gosh, that was a crazy one. But then when I looked it up, it wasn't like too serious. It wasn't too crazy.
No, it's not too bad.
And then I look, right now it's saying like all this crazy stuff about it.
Every drug is like that. If you actually look at all the side effects for whatever drug you're going to be taking,
I don't know.
I mean,
do
like,
that.
the side effects are just weird. Like, how did this even make it to the market? But I mean, you hardly ever hear about that ever happening, though.
It says it causes respiratory distress. I've never read that, and
Damn.
I search up every time you take a new medication.
That sounds pretty dangerous. Let's be honest.
Look at this. Controlled substance, high risk. I did not know that. When he was taking that, I didn't see that.
That's pretty crazy. That's pretty crazy.
I think they updated it. They're like, hold on a second. They're giving these out.
My God.
Sorry, if you hear my scratchy voice, I think I have allergies.
Yeah. And I know that this week we were supposed to have Adorio on, but he ended up canceling again for the second time. SMH. Shaking my goddamn head.
I know. I didn't even should we announce it? Maybe we should wait.
Well, I wanted to announce it because he's the one who reached out to me. He's like, hey, man, we should actually, reschedule this. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. He's showing interest. But I guess he said he's in the process of moving and all kinds. It's like, man.
Well, if he knew he was going to move.
This is like the second time I pre-announce him that he's coming and he doesn't come.
It's okay. Life happens.
Life happens, but, what could you do? Still pretty pedo.
Yeah.
All right, so you wanted to talk about your Animal Crossing, right? So let's.
Oh, you want to go on to that one next?
Yeah, I want to save all the gloomy stuff for last.
Oh, that's
because we got some really gloomy shit to talk about today, folks, and we really don't want to bring down the mood so hard, but it is about a topic that is important to me. So we'll get to that, and hopefully you guys stick around for that. Let's move on to this.
All right, we're moving to Animal Crossing. So I don't know if you guys remember, but I was talking about Animal Crossing a little bit ago because Reggie, who was the president for North America Nintendo, he retired, and he said on April 15th, which passed, he was going to announce a new game. I'm pretty sure he said that. Like, I'm telling you, he said that. April 15th rolled around. I was Googling, looking at Twitter. Nothing. All he did was announce he has a Twitter. That's all. No game, no nothing.
And you remember me telling you that they weren't going to announce shit, right?
I thought you meant they weren't going to announce Animal Crossing.
They weren't going to do anything.
They didn't announce
this game's not coming
anything.
out.
No, they actually 3 days ago, I think, they said that they re-released like a list of games coming out in 2019, and Animal Crossing was on it. So they reconfirmed it, that they didn't forget about us. But I swear,
I'm telling you, they probably forgot about it. Whoever was in charge of the project just snoozed, fell asleep, didn't do it.
That would not happen with Animal Crossing.
You guys are such loyal fans. They're like, they don't care. They're dumb. They're going to buy the new Nintendo. What is it? The Nintendo. What is it? The Switch? Is that what is out right now?
Yes, Switch.
They're like, they're still gonna buy our shitty Switch. They're gonna say it's the best thing.
It's not even shitty. We've had this conversation before.
It is. It really is. It really is.
It's not.
This game's not coming out. I hate to break it to you.
Well, anyway, no game, nothing in sight. But there is something.
Let us know.
All right. So there is an Instagram that's posting an animation of every single bug and fish in the game until Animal Crossing Switch is released. And there is 144 bugs and fish in Animal Crossing. So they're not really going to run out of animations. I mean, click on one of them and look at how high quality these are. They aren't messing around. That is a beautiful animation. I feel like no one understands unless they played Animal Crossing. I mean, look at that. And then exit out, go all the way to the top. And it says behind the catch. Their little story right there. Yep. They go into depth of how they made this animation. They show you everything. Like, this person's going all out. I mean, even if the game pushed back, they could literally start animating other stuff from Animal Crossing. Like, she will never run out, or whoever this amazing human is.
I don't get the point of this game. I'm going to be honest with you. I know there's a lot of fans to it and people love it. I don't see the point of this game. It is pretty. It's a pretty game. It's something I would definitely let the kids play. It's very friendly, but I just don't get it. You go around catching bugs and...
No, that's not that. You're living a life, but a better life than what you're living right now.
Maybe you're right. But that's the same thing with Sims. There's people who get, what was that movie that that documentary we saw?
Oh.
It was Life.
Second Life?
Oh, yeah, Second Life or something like that. And these people were going crazy.
Yeah, but Animal Crossing, you can't have sex. You can't...
Well... were you supposed to be doing that in that life game, or were people just doing it overall? These people were.
No, you could date and kiss.
Yeah, but these people were literally going into divorces due to the
game. But they were cheating, Some people. I can't believe it's a shitty version of Sims, honestly. But Sims, things can burn down. You can get a divorce. You can lose your house. Not in Animal Crossing. It's just pure good all the time.
Well, anyways, if you guys want to follow this Instagram page, why don't you let them know what it's called?
All right, it's called ac.daily.catch. So, AC Daily Catch.
Yeah, it's right here.
And every single day, if you want a highlight to your day, you want an amazing animation, follow them. Not regret it. They will never let you down. Ever.
And I'm pretty sure that there's somebody out there who's playing Animal Crossing.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, you're not the only one. I've seen the fan base is definitely huge. I'm just not part of it.
He's seen it. That's literally all I have Tumblr for, is for Animal Crossing. And people on Tumblr always talking about the fandom's dead. What are you talking about? I'm on it every day and nothing ever. Look at this animation. They don't run out of merch. Or, I don't even know what you would call this. But... George just never wants to be involved on the Animal Crossing conversations.
It's not about that. It's just I've never found anything interesting about it. It's not fun. It's not a fun game that I would play.
That's horrible.
You can't even give me a good reason as to why you think it's such a good game.
I just said it's a life, peaceful, cute.
You could bring that into your own life by not being so grumpy.
You can get a loan for a house and you won't have a time to pay it.
All right. I've already flashed accidentally the photos of the.
Yeah, you're not on your ball today.
I'm sorry.
Not on it today.
I'm sorry, y'all.
Yeah.
This is gonna be one of the. Remember
this is so tiring. It's not even 3 in the morning.
Well, yeah, but you know what? It's like our friend Anthony said. All right.
Stinkers.
The stinkers. There's gonna be a few stinkers here and there.
This one's a stinker because I'm the only one prepared.
It's not even that. It's because I had specifically prepared for a show where we were gonna have a guest, right? And then he cancels on us. And it's like, man, that's like my biggest pet peeve. It's like, if you're gonna say you're gonna do something, come on, come and do it, dude. You know, it's not that hard.
At least tell us before we're like noticing that you're not responding, and we're like, just tell us. Just tell us.
Like, and I understand it gets busy and stuff, but it's like, man, come on, dude, keep your word for once, man. Come on, keep your word. This is the second time.
Yeah, I'm the only one that saves stuff. So if you find anything boring, that's my personality. Plain Jane.
Plain Jane.
I'm literally a plain Jane.
All right. Well, I'm pretty sure you guys have heard a little bit of the story of this poor little boy. From what city was it again?
Crystal Lake, I believe.
From Crystal Lake, Illinois, correct?
I believe so.
If you guys already know, if you guys have been listening for a while, but me and Leslie are parents to quite a handful of kids, right?
Yes.
We love our life. I couldn't see it any different. You know, we love to enjoy stuff together. You know, my kids are lucky enough to have two moms, is the way I look at it. And, you know, I know there's people out there who are like, man, that's so many kids, and they're so judgmental. And it's like, guess what? You guys aren't paying for them. I am.
Yeah.
It's my life, not yours. You guys like going to bars, getting shit-faced. That's cool. That's what you guys like to do.
And I'm a plain Jane.
You know? We like to stay home with our kids. We like to do that kind of stuff. My kids are my life. Work and my kids.
Yeah.
That's my life.
Yeah, that's basic. I mean, we do have our things that we like the podcast. You know,
Right.
The kids aren't on it. But mostly everything's pretty much involved with the kids.
Exactly. So, you know, I do have a huge soft spot for kids. Kids are, you know, a huge part of my life. And when I first heard about this story, it was one of those where I didn't want to acknowledge it, as bad as that sounds. But let me explain why. I didn't want to acknowledge it just because of the fact that I found it to be extremely disturbing. I don't like thinking or seeing stuff where, like, kids are getting murdered or, you know, dead baby jokes. I don't find that shit funny. It's fucked up, you know?
Yeah, I've never.
And when I heard the story, I didn't want to look into it. I didn't want to. I was like, no, I know that there's ugly in this world. I just don't want to face it, you know? It's one of those things where I don't want to acknowledge it, right? And unfortunately, you know, it's one of those things where you have to face it at some point, you know? It's a major story going around the U.S. right now, right?
Yeah, and it's sad, you know, that's not the right.
Right. Sorry.
As sad as it sounds, like, things like awareness has to be brought up somehow.
Right.
And a story like this I think that's the point of news, is that awareness needs to come up. So
yeah, we have to be aware of what's happening despite it being really ugly, you know?
Yeah.
Which it is. It's really ugly.
Should I give more into detail?
Yeah, why don't you go ahead and fill everybody in on the case, just in case they're not filled in, which, you know.
So in Illinois, because I don't think, if you're from Illinois, I don't even know if this is even on the news.
It should be. This is a pretty disturbing case. I don't see why it wouldn't have made national news. This is disgusting.
So there's a little boy. He was 5 years old. His name was AJ Friend. Friend. So this boy was reported missing by his father on April 18th, which was 3 days after the coroner said that he was already, you know, deceased for 3 days at that point. But his father, you know, reports him missing. He says that he puts him down for bed, and in the morning he was missing. Like, that was it. He was gone. But then he was found 7 miles from his home with basically blunt force injury. Like, someone hit this boy until he died. And, you know, it wasn't surprising to the neighbors, because at some point all the neighbors had called the police on this family. And DCFS has been to that house multiple times. In that last year that boy was alive, there was at least 3 hotline calls of abuse or neglect to that house. And in 2016, DCFS had made 26 visits, and many of them were unannounced. So they just showed up, and they never reported anything, which is kind of weird, because the neighbors, family members would say that house was absolutely disgusting. There was even a police report saying that there was dog feces all over the floor.
Jesus.
Piles of cat urine soaked in the laundry and corners, and the house often had no heat or no running water. And, the police reported that the floors were ripped up, like there was floorboards missing.
Right.
There was water damage on the ceiling, so it was peeling and falling down. And the police saw the smelly, urine-soaked clothes. And the mom or the boyfriend, whoever was supposed to be caring for this boy, and obviously wasn't, they lied and said it was due to remodeling. And instead of, asking, when is it going to be done? This isn't too safe for kids to be living in it. They just, okay, bye. And, even neighbors were really upset because they said they had called, because the boy had, like, missing hair and he was burned.
Yeah, that's what I saw those photos. They were disgusting. I mean, he literally looked like he had gotten an allergic reaction. He had like all these red bumps all over his face.
Patches of hair was missing.
Patches of hairs were missing. Like, this little boy was seeing a really, really tough life.
And, the boy said that boiled water had fallen on him. And this neighbor didn't call, police after that because that could have been, a accident, a really bad accident. But that neighbor ended up calling police when she saw the boy, and he had bruises all the time in different places. And it was like on his face, upper body, which isn't a normal place. We have a toddler, and boys and kids, they like to run around, and they should have like bruises on their shins from falling, climbing,
sometimes
playing.
Right here, because it's like the first place they land on.
Yeah, and that I would say is pretty normal.
Yeah.
But the neighbor saw that they were on his face. It really looked like big bruises.
Yeah, right.
And, after the boy's death, the neighbors started talking with each other, and they had all discovered that at some point all of them had called the police.
Wow. So they all got together and they were basically like, hey, you called the police? Yeah, I called the police too.
Yeah.
And just kind of like came together like, hey, we've already called the police. What the hell is going on?
And these parents didn't even have custody of their child until he was like close to 1 year old, because the child was born with an addiction to opioids and other things.
That's so sad.
And so after all these calls, after, not even having the child after it was born, how did they still have this boy?
I don't know. The system is fucked up. It's
like,
broken.
That is extremely broken. Like, I understand that it's the family that killed the boy, not DCF, but everyone was reporting. Even a doctor, I read online, there was a huge bruise on his waist. The mom said it was from the dog. And, the mom left. The doctor asked the little boy, what do you think that bruise came from? And he said, maybe it was from a bell, and maybe my mom didn't mean to hurt me. This little boy said that.
Wow.
He said, maybe my mommy didn't mean to hurt me. So he was still defending his mom. And that doctor reported it to DCFS.
And still nothing.
Still nothing.
Even after a medical professional says, hey, these are inflicted wounds.
To the point where the bruises are ginormous. And they would show up to the house, and in one report, one of the cops said, they look happy, and they left. It was like a open the door, see the kids, leave. Even after 26 visits in 2016 alone.
Yeah. See, that's the one thing. Cops can't go by, oh, the kids look happy. Because guess what? Kids are marvelous,
at adapting.
They're at adaptive, yes. Because they could be in the worst situation and somehow they will find a way to find normality in the bad situations, no matter what situations they're in, and they will be happy. Because they think this is what life is.
They don't know.
They don't know any better.
This boy was 5. I don't even think he was in school yet.
Right.
So he had no idea.
Like Lily. This is our daughter's age.
Yeah. Not our third youngest. She's 5. And it's like her not knowing. That's awful.
That's terrible,
And like this boy even told the doctor, my mom didn't mean to. Maybe she didn't mean to.
Right.
What 5-year-old says that?
One that is so used to this terrible life, they don't know any better.
Like,
plain and simple.
And just to compare, our 5-year-old, if I say she can't have candy, that's what she thinks is mean, and she'll say that's mean.
Right.
But this little boy is being abused, and he finds...
I mean, for God's sakes, the photos, I believe they were from December 17th of this past year. He's smiling, and he has patches of hair missing in the photo. He has all these red bumps all over his face, and somehow he still manages to be smiling, And that's
And
what
that's the sad
and,
part.
and I'm not gonna lie to you guys, man. Like I saw the photo. When was it? Yesterday morning, right?
Yes.
I think yesterday morning was when I decided, like, you know what, I need to see this. You know, 'cause this is really. And we were laying in bed with our kids.
Yeah, it was a
And,
morning.
You know, I'm not gonna lie. I got so choked up. I started tearing up. I felt extremely sad. You know, like I was hurt. And I started to cry, and it was just because of the thought that it was like, man, you know, my house is full. I still would have taken him in.
Right. I think that every single time too.
You know, there's children out there who are in these situations, and I see them all the time. I'm like, you know what? My house is packed. I have 6 children. You know, I would still take them in, and I would still do everything in my power to take care of them. They're a child, you know.
Yeah, and it's awful.
It's terrible, and it hurts me so much. Just to think that, like, the photo of this little boy, you know, he's no longer with us, you know.
Yeah, and it could have been avoided.
It could have been
really could have.
It could have been avoided, you know. It was senseless, and for somebody to even have the nerve, I mean, I believe they washed him up, they wrapped him up into, like, you know, yard bags and all kinds of stuff, and they just dumped him like he was nothing. How could you possibly have a child
and do that
and, like, murder him in cold blood, and then just dump him in a random field? You know how terrible that would be?
That's awful. It's inhumane.
I've seen people who have lost somebody, and at the funeral, you know, when, you know, they're being buried and they're at the burial, I've seen the casket be lowered, and these people can't stand the fact that they have to be left there. You know, it's this feeling of like, no, oh my God, I have to leave you here.
Yeah.
And for these people to not only murder their son in cold blood, you know, in a rage, whatever the case was, this poor little boy had no clue that was his last day.
Right.
And they just pack him up in some yard bags and go dump him in the field?
It's awful.
How
can you even do that?
How could you do that? How could you drive away? Like, so many steps like that, you know, the human brain should have kicked in and been like, this is really fucked up.
And then it took them 3 days to call the police.
Disgusting.
They
tried saying that the little boy had run away. My 5-year-old would never even have the idea to ever run away.
Never.
You know?
Mm-mm.
They wouldn't be able to get far.
They don't even leave the house without asking.
And this little boy was abused, and I wish that he would have been able to avoid a life like this by being taken out of that home and put into a home where somebody would have loved him, taken care of him. Thousands of people would have done it.
So many
people. We're not even us. I mean, there's thousands of people who would have taken this child and given him a better life.
Absolutely.
You know, protected him. The whole point of being a parent is protecting your kids from the, you know, outside world, you know?
Yeah.
It's your job to not let them see how fucked up the world really is until they're old enough.
Exactly.
You know?
You're supposed to be their world. What they see you, that's their view of the world.
Right.
That's their view of the world. That's why most parents are, you know, they talk in a baby voice. They're happy. They play. Because as a kid, that's what your world's supposed to be.
Right.
Playing, happiness, caring, all that. And that boy did not get any of that.
He'll never grow up to, you know, drive. He'll never grow up to have a girlfriend. He's never going to grow up and have a life. It was ripped away from him.
He didn't even go to school yet. Didn't even get to communicate with other people how the actual world is.
Right. And then, you know, there's this issue with, you know, DCFS that maybe they need to figure it out.
Because this isn't the first time.
And it could be due to poor funding, you know. I mean, you know, a lot of these, you know, because, I mean, these are state funded, correct?
Yes, absolutely.
You know,
and
people will only work as far as what they're, you know.
As sad as it is.
As sad as that is, you know, maybe it needs more funding.
I mean, I know a few DCFS caseworkers, and they always say that their main goal is to, keep families together. They don't want to rip apart a family.
Right.
So they try to come in and they try to fix the family from within. But this isn't the first time where a child has died, and DCFF has been there multiple times.
Right.
I mean, that has to raise some red flags. I understand the parents killed them.
It should have lifted a whole bunch of red flags, not even just one. It's like, what the hell is going on here?
Yeah.
Uh,
It's just so baffling. And it's even, like, if you're a human, this should hurt you.
exactly. And there was and I just want to say, rest in peace to that little boy. I hope that there is justice at the end of this, um, because as our next story will show you, sometimes the children survive, but there's still no justice for the kind of conditions that they are brought up on. So why don't you tell us a little bit about that story while I set this up?
All right. So there was another story I ran across about kids not being in good living conditions. A sheriff was called to the house because they had a search warrant for illegal firearm possessions. They come in and they see two twin boys, like twin boys. They're not even two yet, and they're in cribs stacked on top of each other, like bolted to the wall. It honestly looks like cages. And they're just in there. Sheriff had no idea that there was even kids living in that house. They were in there for an illegal weapon possession. And in that house, not only did they find these two little boys in a crib, or in cages basically.
Homemade cages at that.
They found 3 guns, ammunition, a dab lab, like they were making dabs, and meth inside the home. They found all this. And authorities ended up dismissing the child endangerment charges, as the district attorney said that the cribs are available for purchase online, and there is no evidence that the children were cared for inappropriately. And the district attorney said, these were cribs, not cages. They're just stackable cribs. And that they believe that the parents locked the children away to keep them away from the firearms and controlled substances.
Well, that's a great way to lessen your charges, is by saying, oh, we were just making sure that they were going to be okay. But at the end of the day, you're putting your children in cages, man.
And another thing that's getting them put away is that they were cribs. They weren't cages. And I don't even understand how these charges got dropped. It just makes no sense to me. They said these are viable cribs, right? But they modified them, so they're no longer cribs.
Right.
And the child endangerment, they should still be charged for it because they had controlled substances and illegal firearms in the house with children along in them.
And one thing to make clear is that when you're in a home period where methamphetamine is being made, I mean, tons of shows have talked about it. Just the environment, like to go like after these meth labs get busted, companies that are hazmat, have to come in hazmat suits, because the overall, environment of the house has so many chemicals. You have to wear breathers, those respirators, whole body suits. It becomes extremely dangerous to even
breathe
in there. So regardless whether they were in cages or not, these children were exposed to harmful fumes. At any day, it could have been blown up. It's a very unstable situation, when you're making methamphetamine. Anything could blow up. These children's life were put at risk on a daily basis.
Every single day.
Every single day.
And they weren't even 2 years old yet. They were bolted into these cages. Like, I don't even know how they did that. If you look at the image, it's literally like bolted to the wall with, what is that, plywood?
Yeah, it's like 2x4 right there. And then then I see plywood over there. It like plywood pieces, like it looks like they're right here.
Yeah.
Plywood pieces right here to block off any extra little area that the crib itself didn't cover.
It's just awful. And the worst part is that the child endangerment charges were dropped. They're just being charged for possession of the drugs and for the firearms.
You tell me how that's fair. You tell me how that's supposed to be considered, a win. These poor children. I mean, I am so glad that they are alive.
And that they're now put into better places now.
Exactly. And I wish that this is something that would have happened to AJ. Maybe something would have gotten taken care of sooner, So here we got 2 cases where, in one of them, the parents were caught, charged. These children were taken out. Yes, there are charges that shouldn't have not been dismissed.
Absolutely.
They should have not been dismissed. But, on the other hand, these children are okay and they were put into a better situation.
Yeah.
Which
I
is,
mean, I'm so happy that these boys got out before something, maybe they would have, just so many awful things could happen when you just leave a kid into the crib.
right.
I have read multiple stories of babies left in swings for hours in a dirty diaper to the point where there were bugs in their diaper that caused them to have such a bad infection they died.
Wow. Like what? Like some kind of septic shock, I believe is what it's called?
Yeah,
Or what
some
was
sort
it?
of bugs were in this poor kid's diaper for not being changed. I think they said weeks.
That's honestly sad.
And that's what happens when you keep just, kids are wild and they're free.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're meant to be playing and running around all day. And to be left in cribs, swings, I don't even know. That's just awful. So I feel like this would have not ended well if the police never came on their warrant. I don't even know how that warrant ended up happening. And they didn't even know these people had kids.
That's the fucked up part.
How does that happen?
They show up on a warrant to, raid this, lab, and they're like, holy shit, there's kids in here.
How does that happen?
I don't know.
That just makes you wonder how many kids are living like this and nobody knows because
That's
nobody has.
That's exactly the fear that bugs me. Exactly that. And I'm so glad you brought it up. Is the fact that how many kids out there in the world right now aren't living like this and nobody has a fucking clue.
Nobody even knows because as sad as it is, so many stories. I didn't even know they had kids in there. I didn't even know that there are kids in there. How does that happen? And there have been cases where there's a lot of in the house, maybe 4, and the neighbors are like, I've never seen children in my life in that house. This is just baffling to me. And they're neighbors.
When was the last time those children saw sunlight? That's what I wanted to know.
Yeah, that's just awful. To the point where no one knew that they had kids.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
they're almost 2 years old.
It's a sad world.
That just must mean that there's no documentation of a doctor's appointment. No because that's all on file.
Right.
And that's just, at least in the report, it did say that the boys seemed healthy and they were fed.
Right.
It didn't seem like there was anything like that. So there is at least that part, that they were at least fed, because a lot of these cases, they're malnourished.
Right. Wow. Well, if you guys know of any children who are in this situation and you guys have seen it, don't stay silent. Call the authorities. I mean, as you guys saw in AJ's case, that, multiple visits, multiple calls. Sometimes it doesn't happen on the first call. If you guys see anything unusual, report it to the authorities. If you guys know any children who are being,
Because even, some people say mind your business. DCFS will not take the children away like that. Clearly,
Right.
They won't. Like I said, I know plenty of workers, and they say that their whole point is to keep the family together. So let's say you look into a house and it looks extremely disgusting, or you just see, it's really gross.
right.
DCF will come and say, you have like a week to clean this up, a month to clean this up, and I will come back.
Right.
And that kind of might put a fire under someone's butt to change it. So you're not going to split up the family. You really don't have anything to worry about there. The only thing is either nothing happens or, the family actually changed for good.
Right.
There's really no downfall to calling.
Yeah. There's no. Yeah. There's. So yeah, make sure you guys call in and report any crimes that you guys have seen that, and let's step away from such a gloomy matter.
I know. It's so sad. Like, my moods.
Well, don't let it get to you like that. This episode had already kind of started off being a little bit rough,
Yeah.
But we thank you guys for listening. We thank you guys for being with us. I know last week I asked all the servers out there, right? I was like, are they entitled?
Oh.
Are the clients, really bad? But why don't you tell them a little bit about our experience yesterday with our server yesterday at the restaurant we went to?
I mean, I thought she was good.
Yeah, we went to Bonefish Grill yesterday.
It was amazing.
Amazing spot. If you guys haven't been there, look it up, find out if you guys have one locally. We actually went to the one that's Well, we shouldn't say. We went to the Bonefish Grill.
Yeah, we went to one in Illinois.
Yeah, and it was so fantastic, right?
It was really good.
One thing Leslie said is that you know it's going to be a good restaurant when what?
The bread?
When they bring bread immediately to the tables. Like, you're sitting down there like...
Here's the bread. I'll come back for your drinks in a minute.
Right.
And not only that, the bread was like this high-quality bread with high-quality oil to dip it in.
Yeah, it was olive oil with a little bit of basil.
And that's how you know, oh, we in this.
Yeah, exactly.
We in this.
But our waitress was extremely nice. She was very attentive.
Yeah, I thought she was really nice. She smiled a lot.
Right, and we tipped her well,
yeah,
right?
We tipped her really good, and she seemed really happy.
Yeah, but she seemed to be happy doing the job that she was doing.
Yeah, she never, like, seemed upset. I mean,
right.
I'm not saying that you have to be emotionless, but it was pretty good.
Right.
I mean, she was happy, nice.
So, you know, I'm glad we got one of those servers and not one of the servers who are usually, you know, like we said on social media, you know, talking smack about the clients.
I mean, what if she did go
right? Well, who knows?
She said, fuck your kids.
Right. Well, no, the kids were being pretty good.
No, they were good.
But I did find this post. Let me show it to you guys. Here, I'm going to go ahead and... it says, $2 is not a tip. $5 is not a tip. And somebody responded, you know, anything I give you outside from the motherfucking bill is a tip. Now, I agree with this.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. What do you mean $5 is not a tip? I mean, if it was like on a $300 order,
right?
Okay,
I understand. That's not a tip.
But how often is that happening where this meme is relevant to that?
Right.
$5 is a tip, a good tip.
Right. Especially, you know, if you're a pizza delivery driver, you know, and you're delivering and you know, 2 pizzas and 2 liter, you know, getting a $5 tip.
Yeah, that's good.
That's good.
You're already making more than the managers back at the shop.
Exactly. So, I mean, I agree with that. You know, anything outside of the fucking bill that I give you, that's a tip.
But, you know, we do know somebody, we dislike them very much.
Correct.
And they went up and ate sushi, which is very expensive. So if you're going to eat sushi, you better be prepared for, you know, to pay a big tip.
A big tip, yeah, especially because you got the guy who was not only serving you, but then you got the guy who was hand making these sushi rolls. They're handmade to order.
So that's why it takes really long and they're really expensive.
Right.
And this person that we know, they tipped him 1 penny.
1 penny.
Now that's disrespectful. At that point, don't even tip. 1 penny? Really? And the people that were eating with this person, they're like, don't even tip them. You want me to give the money? No, that's what they deserve. They even got a penny out of me. Now that's ridiculous. That I would understand. I would be extremely furious if that would have happened to me. And I've never been a server in my life. But that is disrespectful to get 1 penny. I mean, imagine that. 1 penny.
I'm going to be honest with you. I was looking for the guy's photo because he has some pretty ugly ass photos.
No, don't do that.
I was going to do it.
I mean, they
deserve it.
They have said terrible things about me.
And just random people he doesn't even know.
Let me tell another story. I used to have this Snapchat. We used to be friends. You know, and he was always friendly to me. I remember the first time I saw him, after a couple years, it's been a few years since I seen him, saw him again. He said, you know, a lot of people are going to say I'm cocky. This is the first thing he tells me. A lot of people are going to say that I'm cocky. But none of that is true. And me, I haven't seen him since, like, middle school. Oh, okay, you know, that's cool. You know, here's my child. You know, whatever.
Right.
And that's first warning flag. No, first warning flag. Why would that be the first thing you tell someone? Then on Snapchat, you know, he adds me on Snapchat, whatever. I see. He goes into Culver's and he takes a picture of a poor, unknowing citizen eating their food. Now, this person, you know, is a little bit bigger. They're a little bit bigger. They take a picture of them. And I forgot what he said exactly, but it was something along the lines of, you really shouldn't be eating that. Laughing face.
Which is bogus as hell.
That is, you know, and I'm a pretty quiet person. I really don't say anything. I was like, are you fucking kidding me right now? I told him, are you fucking kidding me? That person isn't trying to enjoy their meal, and you take a picture of them, post them on social media, making fun of their weight and the fact that they're eating. And this person, should we even say what they're trying to become?
They're a personal trainer at a gym.
Would you like a person who makes fun of other people's weight to be
He, he,
your
bu- he
personal
he's a
trainer?
body shamer. Yeah.
And
In multiple occasions, he's body shamed people.
yep,
I don't think somebody who is in the business of helping people, be their personal trainer,
and help them achieve goals.
right? I don't think that somebody who is known to body shame should be in that field.
It's awful, and like that was the first time I snapped on them. I said, fuck you, how dare you say this about this person, this is awful. And I guess, that ticked them off. I don't know, something, because I breastfed two babies, and it's quite known. I never really used the cover. Babies like to throw that off, like they hate covers.
Plus, you really shouldn't have to. Your child is eating.
Yeah,
It's something natural.
it's not like I took off my entire shirt. I really do like a two-shirt method, so nothing's really showing. And he goes off and tells people that my nipples are ugly, this, that, talking crap about me. I'm feeding my child, and he starts body shaming me.
Right.
This person's ridiculous, all because I called them out on
Right.
body shaming someone else. This was ridiculous. At that point, after I heard that, I just ended up blocking him on everything. I couldn't believe it.
I feel like taking a photo of my nipple and being like, rate my nip. Since you're such a professional, rate my nip.
I could not believe that this person said that. And this is the same person who takes random pictures of people eating food, who tips servers working their butt off 2 cents.
1 penny.
Oh, 1 penny. I'm sorry. 1 penny. It's and people, and the thing is, people call him out and he won't care.
Right.
He won't care. He won't admit it. He won't even seem a little bit embarrassed. Like when I was like, "Are you kidding me? You just took a picture of this person?" Oh, I know them, so it's okay.
The funny thing is that for somebody who's body shaming you and other people, right? I think it's hilarious, specifically when he body shames you, because twist to the whole story. Back in high school, he was obsessed with you. He would have died to have dated you. He proposed to you at the lunchroom with a chicken
It was
wing.
I was on a boat, like our 8th grade celebration. Yeah, he was one of the boys that was obsessed with me.
And what did he propose to you with a chicken wing or
Yeah, fried chicken.
fried chicken?
He proposed to me.
Who does that? Who says, "Will you marry me?" in high school? And
Middle
says,
school.
Middle school?
Yeah, it was middle school.
Jesus Christ.
It was right before high school. I mean.
Okay, eighth grade. 8th grade with fried chicken.
It was, yeah. And then now he starts calling me, like, you would have loved my nipples about a couple of years ago. It's
Right.
a little bit weird.
How the
It's
tables
ridiculous.
have turned.
And I couldn't believe it's like, and the thing is, I wasn't like crying. I wasn't like ashamed. I was just so
You did cry.
shocked.
You did cry a little bit.
No, I was just mad.
She
I
cried
could-
a little bit, folks.
I don't. Did I really?
I wiped them tears.
Oh, okay. No, he's lying. I just couldn't believe it. Told family members this, like my family members. Like this person is despicable. Who does that? And they're a personal trainer. And the thing is, they have like a personal trainer Instagram,
Loser.
and he talks about everyone used to tell me I can't achieve my dreams, blah blah. And he's over here shitting on everyone else. Shitting on everyone
Well,
else.
let's not give him any more attention than that.
Yeah, sorry, dude, but
Whatever, right?
fuck you.
Well, anyways, guys, we would like to remind you that make sure you guys go to Los Burritos Mexicanos at 118 North Avenue in Villa Park. Like I said, they're open late. If you guys are in the mood for some tacos, make sure that you guys hit them up. This business is actually owned by the family of one of my friends that I actually mentioned last week, Erwin. And I told him, I'm like, hey man, give me your business info, and we'll give it a little bit of a shout out, and do some ads for you, So make sure you guys go and show them some love. The food is amazing.
They have good reviews.
It's been years since I've been there, but the food has been amazing. The reviews are amazing on the place as well. So make sure you guys check them out. Go show them some love. go have some al pastor tacos. You know,
you know.
any of you foodies out there, make sure you guys go there, show them some love.
And he doesn't talk crap about you on Facebook.
Exactly.
So if you go in there drunk, whatever.
It'll be our little secret. You know, you can go in there and eat all you want. No one's gonna body shame you there.
Yeah.
And we also want to give thanks to Home Cut Donuts. Why don't you go ahead and give a little bit of info on them?
Thank you, Home Cut Donuts. Cut Donuts is home in Joliet. It's been there since how long? The 60s?
I can't remember when I believe it's in one of the photos that we have, but it's been there for quite a few decades.
It has been there for a while, and the aesthetic of that time is still reflected there. And if you check out our Instagram, you will see a little bit of our photo shoot that we did with Cindy Martinez, photography by Cindy, and that it not only is the aesthetic beautiful, it's pink, it's fun. The donuts are delicious, handmade there every single day. They're open 24 hours, so you can get a donut at any time in the day. 12 p.m., you know, after church on Sunday, or 3 in the morning, you know, with your friends after watching some YouTube videos. It doesn't matter.
Right.
And even if fresh donuts, you know, maybe too much, you know, your college, you know, you're not having that, they have day-old donuts for even cheaper.
Yeah, that's another thing that it's really good, especially like I remember I used to get the day-old donuts when I wanted to use it as kind of like you know, kind of like crumbling them up,
like a garnish.
Yeah, and putting them inside of the pudding cups. If you guys actually go to Home Cut Donuts, and if you guys ever buy their day-old donuts, all you have to do is just make some homemade pudding. You know, instant pudding. It's made in, you know, I think it's like 5 minutes to make the pudding, right?
Yeah, nothing.
You make some pudding cups. You grab some sprinkled donuts. You know, break them up a little bit, not too much, and just layer the donut with pudding, and then some donut pudding, and then top it off with a little bit of donut, and you got yourself a homemade pudding cup with Home Cut Donuts.
Delicious.
And you get it for cheaper, yeah.
I think you can get like a dozen for how much? Like $2?
Oh man, yeah, they got great deals there. And don't forget, they're on Jefferson and on Washington in Joliet. Yeah. Make sure you support local business such as this, and as well as my friend Irwin's shop. You know, Los Burritos Mexicanos in Villa Park, 118 North Avenue. Remember, guys, shop local. You know, give all those people, you know, your
Their
business.
Love.
Exactly.
Because they're working hard.
Because remember, Duncan who?
For real.
Duncan who?
Who what? Who what?
Duncan who? Duncan who? It's
I think they meant Home Cut Donuts.
They meant Home Cut Donuts. Definitely go check them out. You know, thank you for sticking around and listening. I also got an email, by the way, while we're closing off right now, from our friend Stream Air. He caught the last live video of us doing it, and you know, he's like, man, thank you so much for the kind words, and we do appreciate you out there. You are very talented, you know that. He's from Italy, really great guy. Please make sure you guys go to his Spotify. You guys can find him under stream_air. You guys can find him on SoundCloud. You know, Google search him.
And Instagram. Check him out. Stream_air, man. His Spotify really is awesome. If you guys ever are in the mood of studying, just chill, his music is perfect for you. Self-care time.
Exactly.
All that.
So today we're going to be closing off the episode with one of my favorite songs by Stream Air, which is called Sometimes. And, you know, it is a little bit of a solemn song, but, you know, I want to close off with that one. And I also want to say that, you know, even if some of you guys aren't religious out there, I know we don't talk about this a lot on the show, but me and Leslie are actually, we have a really good relationship with God. We don't push it on anybody. If your relationship is with the universe or whatever you consider your creator, that's fine by me. I respect that. You know, worship in your own way. But today I want to end the episode by, you know, saying, you know, that I hope that, you know, little AJ, you know, rests in peace. No child deserves to go through that.
None.
And, you know, hopefully, you know, there's justice for him. And those people who, I don't even want to call them parents, they're trash.
Disgusting.
I hope that they suffer. I hope that they're taken away for life. We don't need people like that.
Nope.
You know? So I'd like to close off the episode with, you know, saying my respects. And hopefully you guys could, you know, give the family a prayer. And this song right here is called Sometimes by Stream Mirror. Thank you guys for joining us again for another episode, and we'll see you guys on the next one.
Thank you.
Take care.